Well, here we go, guys. This is part 5, our latest instalment on the canal drain restoration. Look at this. Yes, we've had a drop of rain. It's basically a lake, isn't it? Fantastic. If I just pan back round a second, I should have done this at the start. Where the water stopped here is where the excavation started. So you can see a bit of the vegetation and that to the right, and then it started to scrape it out here, and then it drops away. So I reckon it's a good 7 or 8 foot deep there. It's probably dropped about 3 or 4 inches since we had the downpour. So it's fantastic, instant body of water that we can use. The good thing about it is there'll be very few bichon and climbing perch and any other predatory fish in here at the moment. So we have got the opportunity to put a few, I don't know, a few barbs and that sort of thing in here, and let them get a head start before the scary stuff starts growing. They will get in here eventually, of course. We did get a few out. Well, we got 2 out when MACROMAN was doing the excavation, and he got an absolute shed load of big eels as well. So yeah, two bichon, the mudfish, 1 climbing perch, and I reckon he must have had about 2.5–3 kg of nice sized eels. Right then, so before he left, after he'd balanced it out, we got him to cut up the soil. He said it'd be quite compacted because of the heavy old Ford, and the soil was quite soft. So with him going over, spreading the soil out, it was getting flipping really rock hard. So yeah, it's cut it up for us. The day after that, we had quite a heavy downpour, so it has smoothed it off a lot, but not enough. And it will keep on smoothing, but we need to get the Napier in. We've got the cuttings and they're all starting to sprout, so we want to get them all pushed in. Toon just wants to push them in now. I'd like to get a smaller tractor in, something like a Kubota 400 or something like that, and get it smoothed off nice and level. The big Ford is just, it's not the right sort of machine. Oh, I nearly went over, backside over, watch this. There, it's a bit moist, a bit slippy. Yeah, you can see in here, there's only so much you could do in the Ford. So I can't remember what the knives are called, whether they're like little teeth that spin round and they can get it smooth. A lot smoother than this with the smaller tractors. They use them in the rice paddies. Yeah, so it's just a shame because we could actually pin all the Napier in now, but what I'm thinking is it's a long-term project having this as cut and carry fodder for the goat herd. So we want it nice and even underfoot, that we can get in there, cut it and transport it out, or carry it out rather. Obviously using the trolley down here and the road that we've got in here. But we want it fairly balanced underfoot, because it is quite treacherous when you've got uneven ground, and I haven't got the balance of a cat, shall we say. Toon's all right. She floats across the surface of whatever she walks on, but me not so much. It could be that I'm a few pounds heavier than her. Right, so plans apart from the Napier. Fortunately for us, but not for a friend, Toon's friend that had a plant nursery shop, is closing down, and where she is, unfortunately, they're putting the rent up, and she's said no. So she's got a bit of a closing down sale going on. So we dropped in there after we'd been in town, and we got an absolute shed loads of stuff for Toon's birthday, and couldn't bring it all back on Ben-Hur chariot. So she dropped it off for us at the end of the day in the back of a pickup truck. She's still got quite a lot of stuff there as well. If we'd have had the cash, we'd have flipping bought the whole lot, but never mind. But you do what you can. So along here, where the tractor isn't going to go, so towards the edge of the canal, we've got some nice trees to put in there, some birds of paradise, a few other bits and bobs. Might put some galangal in, although we've got enough galangal growing. It's has foliage all year, it flowers quite nicely, and it's a nice thick root stock in there with the rhizomes. Whether we're going to put some deep rooted grass along the side, I don't know. I dare say within a month it's all going to grass over anyway. But yeah, very happy with it. So part 6 is going to be with it all planted up. So the rest of the day for Lee, before I can put this in, I've got to go and get the buckets of biochar that we've stockpiled, and a few buckets of the old goat poop. And then I'm going to be digging holes. Hey, living the dream.